What's up, you guys? Godzilla fan freaks coming at you today with another figure review, and today reviewing another Kamen Rider model kit. Today I'm taking a look at the Bandai Figure Rise Standard model kit for Kamen Rider Agito. Now, I've only seen bits and pieces of Agito online. I'm really hoping that Discotech, even though I know they're doing a lot of Showa stuff, or at least Shout Factory, but I know from my buddy Matt, he actually said Shout Factory's trying to get out of the physical media game. But man, it'd be really awesome if somebody could release Kamen Rider Agito on Blu-ray or something like that, so I could finally watch it, because I really like the look of Agito. Kind of similar to Kuga, I diving into Kamen Rider and stuff like that. A lot of people have said Agito is kind of like a Kuga clone, not like officially, but just like, the looks and everything like that. But I mean, I like the look of him. The design is cool. His little horns up top, they're different than Kuga's. They're a little bigger, a little bit more pronounced. The colors and everything, and Agito, just like Kuga, can like transform into like different forms, but not as many, I don't think, as Kuga. I mean, this is his ground form, which is pretty much like his basic form, or like a base form, more or less. But he does transform into like this crazy red, I think, and then I'm not sure of what else. But I'd really like to watch Kamen Rider Agito. There's just really no way to watch it online. I mean, there is, but you got to do like a subscription trial through something. You got to like jump through hoops to try to get to it, and it's just like, So hopefully somebody will get the, I'd even settle for Media Blasters. Matt, if you watch this review, man, let's get them talking. I mean, I'd love to see Agito released on physical, that way I can at least say that I have Kuga, Agito, and then Ryuki, the first three Heisei riders, on Blu-ray. I think that's, I feel like, that's something that needs to happen. Because right now we just have Kuga and Ryuki, so you're missing that gap with Agito in the middle. But taking a look at the model kit here, we'll let him spin for a minute. But this was a very fun kit to build. If you want an alternative to Kamen Rider, like SH Figure Arts and stuff like that, or you're a fan of Kamen Rider, but you don't want to flush out those big bucks for like the SH Figure Arts and stuff from Tamashii, these Figure Rise Standard model kits are pretty reasonable. You can still find Agito online, I want to say, for about 30 to 35 bucks, depending on where you look. So very reasonably priced. He's a very easy kit to throw together. All these Kamen Rider model kits from the Figure Rise Standard series are not very difficult. It can be your very first model kit ever, and I'm guarantee you'll be able to follow the instructions and put it together. They're really not that difficult. But Agito here, really cool kit, really easy to throw together, and just looks clean. This is a little bit older of a kit from the Figure Rise Standard series, but still solid. You get to build the figure yourself, put it together. Colors and everything, the plastic coloring and everything, the separation looks great. Agito, of course, has blacks, silvers, golds, reds, a little bit of yellows going on, some clear translucent pieces, and just, again, overall, just really cool, great design. He does come with some accessories, I guess you could call them. First accessory, of course, being on the turntable itself. When Agito goes to like his, I haven't seen Agito, so I don't know what to call it, but like an ultimate form, he sprouts like a few extra horns on his like crown and stuff. And then like when he does like a certain pose, his symbol illuminates beneath his body, and then that's when he goes in for like his rider kick or whatever attack it is that Agito does. So I mean, you have that as an accessory. You can easily, I thought it was going to be a pain in the butt, but you can easily swap out the face plates for Agito to add the extra, you know, spikes on his horns and stuff like that. And then, of course, you have some extra hands, but we'll get into all that when we do go over accessories and everything in full. So first off here, let me go ahead and get this stopped here, and let's take a closer look at the figure now that I'm done babbling and stuff like that. So let's get all this off to the side. Agito here, again, you're sporting very nice, you know, blacks, reds, golds, silvers. You got some translucent plastics in there with some finer details, and just overall just looks great. You even got a little bit of a blue. Granted, that is a decal sticker for the little gem in the forehead. I didn't center it perfectly, but I got it as close as I could. The red eyes, very nice. This actually, his belt underneath the right LED lighting in Godzilla Fan Freaks HQ here at nighttime, that actually kind of gives off a little bit of a glow effect when like those bluish, like purplish hue, kind of black light colors hit that. It kind of gives it like a glowing effect, which is pretty cool. You got a few more translucent clear plastic pieces in his driver belt, as well as reds. Again, a little bit more silvers and golds down on the legs. And just overall, just a really, really clean looking figure. And solid too. You know, granted, these are model kits. The joints are solid. You don't really have to worry about any of that. The color separation is good. And these are a great alternative to SH Figure Arts, in my opinion. I mean, if sometimes they're even better than SH Figure Arts. And again, they're for like a fraction of the cost. You know, some of the Kamen Rider model kits out there range from like maybe 45 to like 55-ish, depending on where you look. But Agito here, for the price of like that $33 to maybe $35 range, not bad at all. I highly recommend picking it up. And again, it's just a really great looking figure. Again, I love the design. Colors and everything look good. Detail wise, I mean, just all the paneling. I do have to take one of my Gundam marker pens, and I gotta go along some of these fine lines just so I can bring out those details a little bit better. You know, same thing with here on the chest and everything, just kind of go in between those with a Gundam marker, and that even makes details pop way more. And again, just makes the figures, just simple panel lining on a model kit, guys, really makes these figures stand out a whole heck of a lot more, and just changes their dynamic completely. But overall, really good looking figure. Again, detail wise, even all, you know, there you got some muscle tones, you know, in the calves, and of course, you know, the chest. You got his pecs, his abs, you know, a little bit of biceps in there, but nothing crazy. You know, Kamen Riders weren't crazy buff dudes or anything like that, but you do get those bodily details even in the model kit. You know, just looks good. I love the eyes for both Kuga and Agito. I love the way the eyes look. They just look great. Again, you have this translucent piece here in the center, which covers a, you know, plastic part that has some finer details in it. That was done very well. Again, you get all the little fine details in his driver belt. I like the look of his driver belt too. It's a step up from Kuga's. I will say that. Kuga's was a little more basic. These, you got this little like spiral design here with the gold. All the detailing in the, you know, mouth area and everything like that just looks fantastic. Shoulder pads, you know, even the hands, you know, again, they're all just molded plastic pieces, but again, just looks great. Articulation wise for Agito here, of course, you know, you can move his head down ever so far. You can move it up, not too crazy far. That's about as far up as he can look, but you do get some nice head tilt action. You can look left, right, so you do have a good range of motion there for the head with the neck and the head ball joints. Shoulders, you can move his arms up ever so far. You can kind of move these shoulder pads around to get a little bit of extra movement, but then you kind of just have all that gapping that's in there. So, but still good. Biceps, you do have a bicep swivel. Nice jointed elbows. And then, of course, wrists and hands are on a ball joint, so you can tilt those up and down, rotate as you see fit. Little bit of an ab crunch and everything in there. Actually, really good range of motion for his body. You know, you can kind of get some side-to-side tilt. You can turn left and right, and again, forward and backward action there. His legs, you can kick forward very nicely. You can kick backward ever so far. Knees, very nice double jointed knees. Ankles, nothing crazy. You can point his toes down. You can point them up, straight, flat. A little bit of pivots you can get out of them, but not much considering, you know, the feet for these guys are like on pegs. They're not really on ball joints. As you can see, there's the thigh for the thigh swivel, just to give you guys that demonstration. That some of the joints here in the legs are put together by pegs and not ball joints. And then you just slide that back on, and then boom, you're good to go. But yeah, you got thigh swivel, no boot cuts or anything like that. But again, basic articulation, but it gets the job done. I like this figure. You know, for adding Kamen Rider Agito to my collection, this was definitely cream of the crop and the best option. So good articulation, good detail, not really paint, but more like, you know, the plastic color separation. All of it's really good. No complaints whatsoever. Let's get him to stand back up on the Lazy Susan there. Again, accessories. Here is his, you know, symbol thing that you can put beneath his feet and, you know, pose him in a cool way. This here actually gives off the same type of like glow effect as his gem in his belt does. You know, when that blue and purple light hits it back here in the room, it kind of gives it that glow effect, which is really cool. I got to take some photo opportunities and do some figure photography with this guy a little better than I already did. But again, that's why you like and follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook and Instagram. That way you don't miss those pictures and stuff like that. Comes with a small variety of different hands. You know, he comes with another, you know, fist hand. He comes with a few open, you know, type hands. Comes with two of those, one for left and right. And then he comes with another hand that's kind of like battle ready, ready to strike, you know, striking a cool pose, you know, fingers extended, stuff like that. It's not many hands, but you know what? Doesn't need to come with a lot of hands in my opinion. And then his other faceplate here. Here's the other faceplate for Agito. And I will show you what that looks like on the figure. And it's really, really simple. I thought it was going to be a pain in the butt, but all you got to do is kind of wiggle the crest and the eyes, because they're all, you know, not all one piece, but they're attached very firmly and nicely as I drop it there. But as you can see, you just kind of lift that off his face. It comes off fairly easily. No complaints there. And there you have your Baron Kamen Rider face with the, you know, very chromish sticker decals that you put on to help the eyes stand out more on the figure. And then for the other crest, you just line it up accordingly. Push it into place, and it just gets right on there. And then there you go. You have the alternate look for Kuga with the extra spikes on his horns and everything. There we go. So there you go, you guys. That is my review on the Kamen Rider Agito model kit from Bandai Figure-Rise Standard. Going into like sizing and scaling though, you know, I don't necessarily like to do that with the Kamen Rider figures because again, they're in that 6-inch humanoid scale. they'll fit in with SH Figure Arts figures. You want them to fit in with your Dragon Ball Z, other Kamen Rider figures. You want them to stand next to your SH Monster Arts Jet Jaguar. You can do that. You know, you want them with your Ultraman. You can put these with your Ultraman. They're all within that standard 6-inch scale humanoid figures. So, other than that, though, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's review on this model kit. You know, put in the comments down below, what do you think of Agito? Have you seen Agito? What are your opinions on it? You know, my buddy Matt said it's really good. I should watch it. He thinks I will like it because he's like, if you like Kuga, you will like Agito. And again, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I really like Agito's theme. You know, you can't really beat any Kamen Rider theme that just slaps, and Agito's really does. I just can't wait to watch it in full whenever I get the opportunity. Anyway, you guys, I'm done blabbering. You know, I'm tripping over myself now. That about does it for today's review, you guys. Hope you enjoyed. We are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook and Instagram. And Atomic Blast that notification bell, Atomic Blast that like button, all those good things. We are Godzilla Fan Freaks, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.